Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be going over more complicated algebra. Most algebra problems want us to find x, such as 4x equals 12. This means that 4 times something equals 12. What we can do is the opposite of multiplication and divide both x and 12 by 4. And 4x divided by 4 cancels it out, so it just equals x. And this equals 3. We can check, and 4 times 3 does equal 12. So we can be sure that x equals 3. What about 3x plus 2 equals 17? To get x by itself, we need to treat it in the opposite way, so that this 3 and this 2 get cancelled out. We can see that x is first multiplied by 3, and then 2 is added. So working backwards, first we'll take away 2 and then divide it by 3. We'll take away 2 here, and plus 2, take away 2 cancels it out. And we'll do the same thing on the other side to keep the equation equal. 17 minus 2 equals 15. And we have 3x equals 15. Now, as I said, the last step is to divide by 3, and times 3 and then divide by 3 cancels it out, so we just have x, and 15 divided by 3 equals 5, so we're left with x equals 5. Now we can check by substituting 5 with x. 3 times 5 plus 2 equals 17. 3 times 5 is 15. And plus 2 equals 17. So we are now sure that x equals 5. The next problem sounds the same when read out loud. 3x plus 2 equals 17, but these brackets make a big difference. This means that the problem first does x plus 2, and then that answer is multiplied by 3 to get 17. So the opposite of multiplying the whole thing is to divide the whole thing by 3, and we'll do that on both sides. Now this cancels out on this side, so we have x plus 2, and 17 divided by 3 equals 5.67. Now to cancel out plus 2, we'll take away 2. I'll do that on both sides. It cancels out on this side, so we're left with x, and 5.67 minus 2 equals 3.67. Now let's check by substitution. I'll substitute x. 3.67 plus 2 equals 5.67. And 3 times 5.67 equals 17. So we are sure that x equals 3.67. Now let's look at x minus 6 divided by 2 equals 11. We can see that 6 was first taken away from x, and then that answer was divided by 2. So I'm going to be working in reverse, and I'm going to do the opposite of dividing by 2 and multiply it by 2 first. I'll just put these in brackets, and I'll multiply the whole thing by 2, and I'll also multiply 11 by 2 to keep the equation equal. These cancel each other out. So we have x minus 6 on this side, and 11 times 2 is 22, so we have x minus 6 equals 22. Now to cancel minus 6, I just have to add 6. So I'll do that, they cancel each other out, and I'll add 6 on the other side of the equation to again keep things equal. 22 plus 6 is 28. Now, to check that x equals 28, we'll substitute it. 28 minus 6 equals 22. And then 22 divided by 2 does equal 11. So we are sure that x equals 28. Now, let's try 3 minus x equals 10. Since we have a positive 3 in front of the x, to cancel it out, we can do minus 3. and I'll add a minus 3 on the other side of the equation to keep things equal. And since this cancels it out, we get rid of this positive 3 and this minus 3. We're left with negative x on this side, and 10 minus 3 equals 7. So we have negative x equals 7. Now, this isn't the answer just yet. Since x or any other letter will have the value of just 1, we'll divide both sides by negative 1. And since two negatives equals a positive, we then get x equals negative 7. For further explanation about negatives, I have a number line here, and we start at 3. Now, since I'm taking away x, I'd go into this direction, into the negatives, but since we're taking away a negative, we move back into the other direction. And to check, our answer is 7, so we'll do 7 hops, and we get to 10. So this proves that x equals negative 7. Let's try one more tricky problem. Negative x plus 13 equals negative 32. We need to remember that when a letter is by itself, that's the same as 1 times that letter. When we see something such as negative x, that means negative 1 times x. X is 13 is added, so the opposite of that is to take away 13. And I'll do that on both sides of the equation to keep things equal. Plus 13 and take away 13 cancels it out, so we're left with negative x on this side, and negative 32 minus 13, and this equals negative 45, because we're still going in the negative direction on the number line. Now we have negative x equals negative 45. Now this isn't the answer just yet, we need x by itself. So to take away the negative, we'll divide it by negative 1, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Now we're left with x equals 45. Now, we'll check our answer by substitution. Negative 45 plus our positive 13 brings us up on the number line, and that does equal negative 32. So we are sure that x equals 45. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you want to see me work with algebra anymore, let me know.